Jay says 87.6 Jamaica vibe song. Oh, no. Come take a journey across the sea to the land of sunshine, culture, and history. Jay says 87.6, it's the place to be when we uncover Jamaica's legacy.
And welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Tropical storm Melissa moves slowly. Jamaica on alert. The country is bracing for what could turn into a disastrous extended onslaught of hurricane conditions. At least three deaths have been reported in Haiti. A tropical storm warning and hurricane watches remain in effect for Jamaica. Officials are expecting power outages, flooding, landslides, and dangerous seas. By Sunday, Tropical storm Melissa is expected to intensify to a Category 4 or stronger hurricane.
It's Friday, October 24th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Melissa is now getting stronger, probably a little ahead of schedule. It looks like it is likely now that this is going to become a hurricane by the time we get into tomorrow. It is now strengthening. It is on track from what we've talked about. I've got your back in this situation, right? In between videos, I'm nonstop forecasting, going through your comments and talking to folks on the ground, both in Haiti and across Jamaica, as we go back and forth on what to do during the storm and, of course, after the storm with recovery as well. We're working on that aspect. Now, this could be a catastrophic hurricane. I don't use that term lightly. You know me. With that said, we need to finish the preparations now. In Jamaica, we need to get everything done. The rain is going to be getting worse, and we're going to see that as well in Haiti. Across the Dominican Republic, we've had the heavy rain, we know, but this big blob is moving in. Now, Jamaica, finish those preparations as soon as you can. We all have different means. I don't like to waste your time, your resources, or any of that. I understand. I've been on the ground in Haiti, and I've been on the ground in Jamaica, and I understand we all have different challenges, no matter where we are, Caribbean, back through the United States, over toward the Bahamas. But it's nice how we could come together as a community, and we're getting those preparations done now. Now, here's the deal. With this system, I've been in these storms before that are similar to this. This is going to be a long duration event, which means you may get stuck in place in days. I know this language is a little bit scary, but you may get stuck in a place for several days or upwards of over a week, kind of within your community. We're going to see some roads getting cut off, that sort of thing, especially with the landslides, the dangerous flooding we're going to have. So with that, if possible, and we all have different means, we need to have supplies on hand if we can for food, not just for a few days, but for potentially a week or two. Some of us could lose power, and we could lose power for several weeks, if not longer. That is what we're looking at here, both with the rain and the wind. Is some of this still dependent on the track? Yes, but I'm letting you know ahead of time before we get cut off as well. Once the power goes out, once the internet goes out, all of that, I'm letting you kind of a heads up on what's going to happen. We could be stuck in place where we're going to need food wherever you are for several days, if not a week or two. So just kind of thinking ahead, and please, if you can, and I know you are, help get others to safety. Not necessarily, we don't maybe need to do it right at this moment, but maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day as the winds pick up, and more so as the rain picks up. That is a huge concern, is the rain. So with that said, if we could just check on each other. I know we've got when I was just in Jamaica, we've got a lot of churches just kind of scattered about that have slightly better structures than maybe some other homes. I know the churches, I've been talking to the pastors, the priests on the ground are trying to help folks out in the community. If you're stuck in an area where you may get landslides, mudslides near rivers, low-lying areas. In this video as well, I want to show you the surge. I want to cover that as well. But here's the core of it right here. This is where the center is. This is the rain I've been mentioning days ago that would push out ahead of it. We've seen that in the Dominican Republic. I've seen the scenes. I've been talking to one of my good friends in Jacmel back toward Haiti. We're doing okay right now in some spots. It's about to go downhill in a hurry with this blob moving in. That is going to produce really heavy rain. So in Haiti, across the peninsula, conditions are going to get worse tomorrow. tomorrow. Again, we could get cut off from one another for quite a while, especially with some of the impassable roadways, if you will, across the southern peninsula of Haiti. Giving you that heads up, it could be days of not being able to typically get where we need to go, typically get to the well where we need to get water. So we're trying to give you that heads up that we're going to see some spots getting cut off in the southern peninsula of Haiti. Of course, the cisterns will get full, but we're going to get some strong winds as well. So we need to monitor that as well across the peninsula of Haiti. And then all of this will be building back toward Jamaica. But we need to cover this, right? We need to cover this together. Now, here's the outlook as far as the best track. Now, this may be a little bit more over here. I'm starting to see that this may turn a bit sooner. I'll show you that in just a second. This is kind of more of that official track. But the point being here, just when you take a look at this, how of a slow mover this is. Jamaica, some of us will wake up tomorrow and be like, what storm? It's not here yet. Even on Sunday, some of us, depending on where we are, especially at western end, may be like, where is this thing? But then the conditions go downhill, and then we see the heavier weather for days and days until this eventually takes a turn. It will take a turn. That is critical for what happens down the road. If it takes a quicker turn right into Jamaica, that would be better news for the Cayman Islands, worse news for the eastern end of Cuba and the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. We'll keep an eye on Bermuda down the road. A later turn could put this a little bit closer to parts of the Cayman Islands, central and eastern Cuba, and the central Bahamas. Winds right now on this are at about 60 miles per hour, probably upwards of about 70 miles per hour, close to hurricane status, so 100 kilometers an hour, or even a little bit more. So this is my best feel. Now, I trust your judgment. You trust my judgment. You know I'm with you. So these maps are going to change. So as you spread the word about this, and please share this link with others, put it in group chats, whatever you got, and just let folks know that this is going to change depending on the track. But as we work our way into tomorrow, and get around the Kingston area, of course, over toward the Bay, things are really going to start to pick up deeper into the day and tomorrow night. Meanwhile, western sections, you get over toward Negril, for example, maybe not a whole lot yet, but we'll start to see that rain working in. It's going to be a slow mover, as I mentioned. Some of us may just kind of be waiting on this for a while. Very long duration. I mentioned that multiple times because we kind of need to prepare not only what we need to prepare for, but just kind of, with supplies and stuff, but mentally, because this is going to be a long haul. Then on Sunday, this will become a powerful hurricane. Winds by Sunday in this should be over 100 miles per hour, maybe upwards of 120 sitting just offshore. If it is just to the south, that would mean along the southern coast, we get the hurricane impact starting to move in, southern coastline with winds of 80 miles per hour. Tropical storm impacts elsewhere, right? But there is a chance this could be a little bit more to the north. That's why I would update this map. But on Sunday, it gets even worse. Now, with all of this said, I'm showing you the winds, but the rain continues to pump in. Even if this is more down to the south, that rain still wraps around. If this is on top of us, obviously more rain. So any scenario has a lot of rain, which I will cover for us in this video, and I'll show you some of the surge maps as well. Now, on Monday, the system could be right here. Maybe it's a little bit closer, but either way, it should be a powerful hurricane. Now, some of the models keep this away a little bit. They almost kind of draw it back down to the south temporarily before it shoots back across Jamaica. So with this, kind of a give or take, if this is sitting over water here, we'd have winds roughly around 75 miles per hour by Black River. Of course, if this is closer, they could quickly be over 100 miles per hour. You see how the track makes the difference. But with that long duration event, either way, regardless if you have winds at 50 or 75, we're going to be seeing this for days and days, and that just continues to push the trees, continues to get under some of the roof lines, continues to get under some of the siding that we have in some homes kind of up by the roofs, and just continues with that pounding. So that's what we'll be watching with that long duration system. This is Monday. Then eventually this is going to shoot back. Now, I do believe at this point, based on what I'm seeing, there are some models that show it kind of moving over here. I think with what I'm seeing at this point, this would shoot in basically directly across Jamaica. We'll see how this shakes out, but with that, that would mean on Tuesday, in through Tuesday night, this is how long we're talking out in time, we'd have winds for all of us, west, central, east, all of us over 100 miles per hour. And of course, you take these numbers, these would be sustained winds, so we'd have higher gusts. Could have winds, Spanish Town over toward Kingston, upwards of gusting to 160 miles per hour. That is a possibility. This is still by Tuesday, so I do expect this to change. As I put out more videos for you, maybe this will be a little bit more over here. Maybe it'll be over here. We'll see. If it's over here, that would be better news for the western zones, but I'm not really seeing a scenario where this kind of escapes Jamaica totally. Either way, it's going to swing back close by to give us those hurricane conditions. But you can see northern coast, southern coast, winds on Tuesday would be over 100 miles per hour. And that's after already a couple days of strong winds as a whole and very, very heavy rain.